What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in yesterday's video we talked about Solana, and actually when we made that video we were going to be right here, and basically what we were talking about was whether or not it was too late to be buying. Now, I personally said that you guys know my drill. I think that trying to get on a bus when the bus is going 45 miles per hour down the highway is not a good idea, but rather trying to catch the bus at a bus stop and trying to wait for the retracement / the support establishment and breakout of structure was the better game plan. And so what we can see is that basically right after that video uploaded, the price came back down, looking to see a healthy retracement back to the downside and looking to possibly be setting some upward continuation. So what we're going to talk about in today's video is what we need to be looking out for, whether or not this thing is going to actually continue back upwards, and what we can expect when a great buying opportunity would be in the future here. So what we can see right now again is that we did come down to retest this 4-hour 20 EMA, just like we thought it would, right? We saw that as we would get super extended like this multiple times in the past, that 20 EMA would be our retracement level where it would come back down to. So of course, if you did find a good little shorting opportunity there, once you saw the price rolling over, big congratulations. That's a great little shorting trade there, and it's a great way to play some of these downward movements. So now let's talk about whether or not we're going to see this thing continue back upwards, what I would need to confirm it's going back upwards, where I would be buying, and whether I think it's a great buying opportunity or not. So what I'm looking at the moment is, again, just a very healthy retracement. But what I want to see at the moment is the continuation of this bull run. Now, there's a few things that are telling me that, okay, this thing looks like it may still be continuing upwards. So the first thing that I'm looking at the moment is going to be this hidden bullish divergence that we're seeing with the price and the RSI. Now, what that's going to be is whenever we have our RSI setting these lower lows here, and we have the price setting higher lows. So what this is happening is whenever the price is going up to set these lows, the RSI is setting these lower lows, which is allowing us to have even more room to the upside to then go back up to set our high. And as that does happen, since there's so much room, since there's so much available buying pressure before we start to see overbought territory, it allows our price to see more of a continuous climb to the upside, typically surpassing this all-time high. Now, typically speaking, when we do this, we'll set a lower high here, and then we start to see bearish divergence, and so that's why we start to see these swing highs, swing lows, swing highs, swing lows. But as we're setting these lower lows on the RSI and higher lows on the price, it allows us to continue to see that upward buying momentum to see the price push to the upside. So we're seeing some good buying pressure here. We're seeing some good movements from the price at the moment, and in relation to where the RSI is, allowing us to just have this room and have this space to see a continuation back to the upside. So now, if we are going to see the price start to go up, what exactly do we need to see for us to confirm that this is the bus stop? How do we know that this is where we want to be buying at before, buying and then this is the end, right? And it starts to go down. How do we know that this is just the bus stop and then we see boom, 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 continuation to the upside? So what I want to see personally is that we are able to clear our very key level of retracement on the Fibonacci's. So what that's going to look like is that we are going to be looking for, and honestly, let's get rid of all of this. Now we don't need it right now. What that's going to look like is if we take our Fibonacci's and we go from our swing high, wherever we put in that high at $130, and we come all the way down to our current swing low, which is going to be at $102 here. The whole game plan right now is to clear this 786 and to find some closes above it. Not just clear it, because we can still come back down. We want to clear it and find some closes above it to see the continuation to the upside. Now, if that does happen, I honestly do believe we find one or two closes above it here, that we could be looking at a potential $147 Solana. I think that's still very, very possible. Now, let me show you what it's not, okay? Let me show you what we're not looking for. So let's look at this movement here, where we came in. We set this high right here, boom, and we set this low here. We retested that 4-hour 20 EMA, and we started to work our way up. Well, as you can see, every single time that we would bounce, we would go up, and we would start to work our way towards these retracement zones, but we could never clear that 786 and find some closes above it. And so every time that we would fail to do so, it would continue back downwards. It would go back up, almost there, and people might have got excited, but we never closed above it, and we never set that close and multiple closes above 786 for us to say, okay, we are finally in this continuation, and it didn't happen. And so as we kept doing it, we bounced back off of it, and then we started to set some of these lower lows. So what we went ahead and did, we take this swing low that we set, and we're just going to follow it. We're going to go all the way down wherever it goes to set that low, and until we clear that 786 and get multiple closes above it, we're simply not, and it's not time. It's simply not time. So what we did here, we go, we drag it, we drag it, we drag it, and boom, as you can see, we work our way up, come back down, back test at 382 as support, and now we boom, we go above it, we set it, we have multiple closes above it, just like you can see here, without going back down below it. So that's pretty much confirmation, like, all right, support has been established. Get in, boom, with a price target of 1.618. That was your buying opportunity there, with a nice short trade, or a nice little short-term trade, all the way to the 1.618, which in this example was a trade of roughly about 13%. I mean, that's an absolutely phenomenal move there, and it's based off that confirmation, right? We weren't just simply buying, right here and right here and right here whenever we would just start to see the price go up. No, we didn't want to buy this thing until we had our confirmation that the price was going to continue to the upside, and that looks like the clearing, surpassing, and the establishment of multiple closes above the 0.786. So what I'm looking for in this example is that at the moment it's at $124. I want to see us go up, have a close, multiple closes above the 124, start to work our way back up. Okay, that is the current game plan. Now, if we start to fall, we start to come back down here, do anticipate that there's a few possible outcomes. The first possible outcome is that we start to look at some type of symmetrical triangle. Now, what that's going to look like is if we draw a Fibonacci from the swing low we created to whatever swing high we put in. Say we immediately start to roll over as soon as this video ends. Look to see us come down and set some support around $109 to $106. Now, what will typically happen when we see the price shoot up like this is there are times we create this symmetrical triangle in which we put in our low, we come up and retrace to our 786, 618 on the top side. We then fall down to the 786 to the 618 bottom side. Then we start to bounce in between these two and create the symmetrical triangle. Okay, so if we do fail to capture the 618, 786 here, be looking for a retracement back down to 109 to 106. If we lose 106, do expect likely that we come back down to retest the 50 EMA on the 4 hour, which is currently all the way down at about $95. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting right now. Nothing too crazy. Everything is still looking very, very bullish to me, especially that hidden bullish divergence. Make sure you pay attention to these levels. And again, we are not getting excited that this thing is going to continue, and we're not FOMOing in or YOLOing any money in until we see the clearing of the 786, surpassing of $124 off of this low. If it comes down to set a new low, say it comes down here, you got to move this swing low down here and it moves your levels. Okay, but based off of, again, this low right here, we're looking at the surpassing and having multiple closes above $124. From there, if that happens, I would say that's a fantastic buying opportunity. So of course, with that being said, I will update you guys if we see any moves, if anything happens, or if there's any big updates. I'll update you as soon as I possibly can, but do pay close attention to this. If you do want updates a little bit faster, of course, I do have a Patreon. You can go check that out. The link is in the description below. But with that being said, I will see you all in the video later today. We're going to go over some ADA, so definitely do stay tuned for that. I'll see you next time. Peace.